Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knightsmed Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. the man.
Friday afternoon to you, everyone. Welcome once again, and thank you so much for tuning in and staying with the real issues here on Real FM Radio, 91.3 frequency for the north, 91.5 for the southern part of St. Lucia. We simulcast also on MBC television. That's on channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live as well and streaming live on YouTube, a further platform by which you can join us. And we appreciate the interaction. Hope you're having a good day so far and looking forward to a similarly satisfying and safe remainder of the day. Jaquan tells me my collar looks awful. It's not fixed. I guess it's because of the heat that I just leave it open, you know, even when I drive to work. Just the last few steps to get into the studio always seems to be the one that makes me perspire, and then you can see the wet marks on my shirt, even though I'm wearing, you know, an undershirt that should be absorbing it. But I'm telling you, this chalet ain't nothing easy. But it comes with the territory, and I say it's not as bad as it was earlier in the year. We seem to be winding down, November already. Let's hope that the end of the year doesn't bring any severe weather events, and that we can go into December, Christmas, New Year, feeling a little bit of the welcome chill. And just like that, we've come to the end of another week of the real issues. We have everything to be grateful for, and what a week it has been, especially the week of the U.S. presidential election and this astounding result that came through. So, as you head into the weekend, I again exhort you, I again plead with you, make sure that you know, just like when you go to play football or something like that, don't just pray to God to keep you safe for you not to get a broken leg and so on. Pray for the other people in the game, that they too will come out without a broken leg, without any, you know, major mishaps. You know, we know you're going to get a little bang here and there and so on, but that no one is going to get out of it, you know, needing hospitalization or unable to walk. And you, when you play in the game, do your best, except as is necessary to play a competitive, robust game. Don't play nasty that you hurt somebody else. Well, just the same way, in our ordinary movement about the place, in the society, in the community, and I might say particularly on the road, don't just be careful for your own safety. Look out for other people. You heard me use the analogy of the domino game and so on, that sometimes when you're playing with a partner that's not very strong, it's like you got to play your 7 cards and you have to play their 7 cards as well for them. You've got to play a responsible, almost, you know, parenting kind of game over them if you have to have any chance of winning or anything of that kind. And we need to look out for each other. And speaking about that, I'm a little bewildered that given all the homicides that we have, somebody always stabbing somebody, shooting somebody, chopping somebody, why is it that we still have so many people, if I may borrow that little line from Richard Frederick, who seem to have a torchlight going about the place looking for trouble, you know? We have so many people who seem to always be doing something to stir up some confrontation, to do something, you know, the bully type. We have a lot of them around the place, the type who feel that, you know, they can take on anybody, and you get a sense that they're trying to stir up something because they believe they have some advantage. Maybe they're packing something, but even if I had gun, knife, sword, taser, stun gun, whatever you call it, I ain't going to look for trouble with anybody. Folks, it is clear to us, as it should have been clear for the whole of our lives, from what we hear, from what we read in the news, locally, internationally, how easy it is for somebody to die. You know, it's so easy. Somebody prick you with a knife and so on, and they hit, you know, a blood vessel, and the rate of bleeding exceeds that which they can, you know, have time to operate on you, and you're gone like that. A bullet, look at how small this piece of, you know, metal, copper, brass, whatever it is, lead and so on, penetrating you and so on, how this thing can kill you. It's so easy. In an instant, you could be dead. Yet we have people going around looking for trouble. People. There are just so many of them about the place that I wonder, are they from another world, from another planet, that they don't know how quick and easy it is for somebody to die, for somebody to be paralyzed, for somebody to be dismembered, to lose a leg, to lose an eye, to lose an arm, this sort of thing, that they're doing all sorts of things. And you know, those road bullies, when you are trying to be safe, like you are at a roundabout, you know that you have to give way to traffic coming from your right. Sometimes, and I'm happy for that, I do it, you do a little courtesy, especially if to continue along your right of way would be to obstruct the flow of traffic and so on, because in front of you, let's just take the roundabout in the Conway waterfront area and so on. Sometimes you're coming from the Jean-Baptiste Street area, coming down to the roundabout with the intention of making a right turn to head up north along the government building, Sans Souci Bridge area. And somebody is coming from north, from the same area that you're heading. They're coming from your right. You stop for them, but they realize that if they were to continue, they would just be obstructing the intersection because the line of traffic in that last bit of road passing along the vendors, the craft market and so on to go into the junction of Jeremy Street, that is already packed with vehicles. There's nothing you can do. You cannot go. So they stop, they let you through. And you're happy for that. You do it for people sometimes. There's no point in obstructing, an intersection just because you have the right of way and so on. But there's some guys behind you. They can see or they know that it's for traffic that you've stopped. The fellas getting vexed. They're blowing their horns at you, beep, 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 and you can hear them cussing. Because for some reason they believe you should push yourself. Now, maybe they've been doing that kind of aggressive driving and getting away with it. Gas only before you know. If you have to wait, they'll never let you pass. Well, let me tell you something. I always end up passing. The other day it happened to me in the Sans Souci area. Going to take that last turn before you go, to the traffic lights, make a left turn to the traffic lights that's opposite the fisheries complex area there. And some guys behind me and tooting angrily, a thing around there since the time. And I'm saying, Lord, the reason that I have stopped is because there are vehicles traversing where, and they have the right of way. I can't push mine. And you go and you do that, an accident occurs or collision, all the hurry you in it gone. All the hurry, tout poesia ou de poesia sa fini, because now there's a whole lot of screaming and shouting that might escalate into something, and police to come and measurements and this and that and the other. Where's all the hurry that you had? But I find these kinds of bullies, and taking chances, doing things because they've done it before and gotten away with it. That is the trap of life. When you are doing things that you're not supposed to do and you get away with them, it makes you braver. You get bolder. Your daring increases because you think you'll always get away with it, and then one day your luck runs out. You either dead, you kill somebody, you seriously injured, the vehicle that you don't know when you'll finish paying for it, it is smashed, and what is showing that you're wrong, and the liabilities and whatever fall on you, and all these sorts of things. But still we have people. The other paradox is you're hearing people, killing others, and then the news report says they were friends. They were always joking together. They're drinking together. They had the domino table or cards table playing together. The fellas, how do people who call themselves friends end up killing each other like that? What kind of trouble they could have that they could not resolve, or they couldn't just cuss off each other, raise their voices, a bitter exchange of words. They go their own way. They don't talk to each other for a few days, or they never talk again. That a knife has to come out and to stab a guy. That a gun has to pull and to shoot a guy that is your friend, very often your relative. That people see you get up and leave and they figure, you just don't want to be around, but you're down there by the road somewhere in the bush waiting for him to pass so you can chop him. I mean, how does that happen? And if you have a situation where nobody's friend enough not to want to kill them, to stab them, to shoot them, to chop them, why should I go around with strangers, people I don't even know, looking for trouble with them? Something that I can de-escalate and I can walk away and leave alone, I mean, I am at an intersection. I'm seeing the road. I know whether it's safe to go or not to go. Somebody flash their lights. Okay, I go. You behind me. You're more in a hurry. You thumping on your horn. You get the feeling one of the days some fellas will come out of their vehicle and attack you because you can't put up town. You're too slow to get out of there and so on, Whether it's Labrie Street turning into Jeremy Street. So many traffic lights not working. You have to be careful. You have to gauge the intentions of people and hope you're right. Sometimes you see people have their indicator on showing that they're going to turn, make a turn and not come across you, and you decide to go according to that. My friend, you're dead wrong, They don't even realize their indicator is on, and you go and is a crash you get involved in where you can get seriously hurt, you can get killed and so on. You have to be careful. You have to drive defensively. But there are some people on the road, you just you the people, it's like being on the road is a matter of irritation for them. Some have been on the road being a matter of show off for them, being a matter of showing their prowess and their lights and how beautiful it looking proper and this kind of thing. Then you have others who are there just, being on the road and so on, it's not about irritation. Self-defense is not about somebody irritated you. Self-defense is about somebody threatened your life, your safety, your limb. You were afraid, you were in fear that you were about to be killed or harmed or so on, and you reacted or you responded and this kind of. It's not about somebody make me vex. It's not about somebody me say me fâché, me say me wanger, depuis là me say pas move. That's not what it is. Too many of us act upon irritation. And that irritation is causing what is, under some of it, a small thing to escalate into a big deal. But who needs to lecture anybody about those things? I just find in our society is becoming more and more. People kill people, and when you inquire, when the police investigate, some magi, some papi show, whatever, because, at the time, they're not thinking of killing or not killing. They just, not thinking, because the irritation has completely taken over your mind. It has taken over your faculties. It has taken over your reasoning, your logic. All of that, it just takes over in the moment you irritated, so you just act out of it. We have to make sure that if ever we get to the point of using a piece of stick or a stone or whatever on somebody, that is not the irritation of a moment. Are we also hormonal like that, even the men and so on? Well, it has to be not even the men, mostly the men, because that's where the vast majority of the crimes, in terms of committing them, that's where they lie and reside. Enough of that. I want to open the phone lines. I always say that, don't I? Open the phone lines. And I think the few times when I do open it in the first half hour, I hardly get any calls, because people are not accustomed to Shelton opening phone lines so early. He goes on and on and on and on with his preambles, which I can tell you almost I never come with them planned and so on. It appears that somebody who was once a card carrying member of the UWP, I think at one time was even a candidate of the UWP, etc., etc., has had a few choice words of opinion that she has been expressing about the party now as it stands under the leadership, I think, of Alan Shastney. But it seems to be the kind of thing that has impressed some people who are Labour Party people and who believe that we must capitalize on everything. So somebody comes out and they put in socks on Alan Shastney, and we don't look at the whole history. As far as we're concerned, any socks on Alan Shastney is good, so we jump up and we grab it and we seize it and so on. It's not to say they're wrong and I'm right. I just want to express my view on those things and say, we have to be careful that in our eagerness to make the enemy of my enemy my friend, that in our eagerness to try to amass as much ammunition and as much artillery against somebody or some cause or some organization or some party that we consider to be the main target, that we don't end up being played ourselves without even realizing that we are being played. And let me tell you, Miguel Favre, my admiration for you has grown, yesterday, last night, because you seem to be one of the sober, sane, and level-headed ones, especially for one who's as young as you. You seem to be a guy who takes your time and you study and you analyze things and you don't act out of impulse and you're not giddy-headed. And I want to congratulate you for that. You're one young as you are, but I can see the process of maturation in you. That you don't just jump onto anything. Neither do you condemn and push away, but you take your time and you watch. You watch how the wind is blowing. And you watch to see how the trees are leaning. And you watch to see whether the trees are leaning in a manner that is, hey, that conflicts with the direction of the wind. How can the wind be blowing this way, but I'm seeing the trees bending this other way? And then you'll be able to decide whether the wind is a true wind or a fake wind. I haven't seen one, I'm just using something that's completely illustrative. Let me give you a little example of while I was in Antigua, something a man told me. And it's amazing when men sit down, little small, how do they call it? Superette or mini-mart or whatever owner, we used to hang out there, a couple of us, sit around the table, chat. we play some dominoes too, whatever, close to where I was living and so on. And one of the guys, usually when men meet, the topic turns about women and relationships. Same thing with women, a lot of their talk turns out. One was talking about, Antigua has a good amount of Spanish people, about the Spanish women, whatever, you can be friendly to one and the culture never seems to meld and so on in them, so they always have another Spanish man or boyfriend in the background, and it's not anything, it's just that they feel more comfortable in their own because, this kind of talk. One of the guys one time was saying something about a woman he liked for a long time, but the woman never seemed to like him as much as he felt he liked her. She stuck with him. She never really let go of him, but, he got a sense that it was because she knew that he liked her, and he would always try to help her in her difficulties, support her. She had a couple of children. If things were rough, and she said he would always, put out and help her. If she needed to go somewhere, he had a vehicle, he would go and drop her. But he always sensed that something about him didn't measure up to her standards. Despite all the difficulties, she had this, how they call it in Antigua, they call it you nuff. Yeah, I don't know what it means. You nuff and you edge up, One time I thought it was North, because in the North there is the equivalent of Rodney Bay and this kind of thing there. In an area that I once lived called Hodges Bay, like you tell people you live Hodges Bay? It's a big deal. I never worry about those things. I happened to be there because the person I went to work for, this is where they had housing available and they put me. But you're supposed to feel, it's a super, super, super thing, Same way one day the person asked me if I wanted a drink and said they have Johnny Walker Blue, and do I want some of it? And I took a sip. And they were looking at me like, like they expected me to be, wow, ooh, Johnny Walker Blue, it's a prestige drink and so on. I didn't care to it. Ordinary little gin or whatever at the time would have done for me and so I'm not into this class and rankings thing and the Rolex watch, what's on my hand. A Rolex watch on my wrist is something that to me makes me more vulnerable to somebody chopping off my arm to take the Rolex watch and so on, Wealth and this thing, to me, they carry more risk and vulnerabilities to them. But anyway, there I go again, digressing so much. This guy said that this woman, she didn't realize that the woman likes men who have a certain, how you call that? Who have a certain air of thing about them, whether it was nice cars or whatever it was that they had. And he had a decent vehicle, but it wasn't like the sporty kind of vehicle that he realized, once a man has that, the woman, she goes completely, her knees give way for that man. So he realized that at some point. And so she ended up getting friendly to this guy who was really into this lovely cars and so on, and really, really doing good. So he didn't bother himself because things had never reached a stage between them where, it really clicked. But he remained friendly. He liked her, and generally he believed she was appreciative of him, and etc., etc. And he realized the woman was playing a game with him. That if she needed something, which maybe the boyfriend couldn't give her, and most times he couldn't, simply because the guy's life is always about his spoiler and his mag rims and his skirting and his marvelous, vehicle, keeping himself proper. And most times the woman, it turns out, she struggled to have breakfast. There was nothing. But in those times, she would tell him, hey, I'm coming over by you to chill, until he realizes, he's the kind of breakfast guy. He's the kind of guy, take me to lunch. He's the kind of guy of bring me a sandwich or bring me a this and that, because, life isn't good for her. But she doesn't mind suffering all that because of the nice appearances that she loved to live with. Until he realized there was also a pattern. Whenever she needed something and he was reluctant, she knew how to play the game of giving him the impression that she and the guy were done, that they had this blowout, that they had this fight, because she knows that the residual liking that he has for her, the moment he heard a breakup, he'll see, oh, there's an opportunity, there's a chance, so he'll rush forward. So anytime she would call him and said, oh, we just had a fight, and we broke up. I think I've had it this time. I've had it enough. Can you come, give me a ride to clear my head? And he would go, with her and so on. Of course, along the way, there would be the request for whatever she wanted and so on. And he, even more than he was doing before, would put out to give her, to take her to lunch, to give her the, she wants to buy this and that because this guy senses she's broken up with the guy. And, so this is his chance. But even in those times, she would tell him, let's go to this certain beach and let's chill out. And figure, oh boy, she's in the mood, she's up for it. That is what was happening. The boyfriend was working in a hotel when he's not in his cars and so on. Was working in a hotel that is off the mainland of Antigua on a little island they call Jumbi Bay or Jumbi Island or whatever. And the place where she asked him, to come and let us chill out is facing where the boat that is bringing stuff from Jumbi Bay is going to land. And she did it not more than once until he realized that the woman was bringing him to the spot on each occasion when he thought, okay, they really get down into some serious conversation. The boat reaches. And, oh, I see a friend of mine there, I haven't seen her. I have something to go and tell her. And then she would come back and say, look, so-and-so and we decided we need to catch up on some things and do that. So I'll come by you later. I'll see you. Making him bring her where when the guy lands, she just moves off with him. On a couple of occasions, he told me, it was a situation where the guy turns up. It made to look like a coincidence, but the guy is coming to, as we would say in St. Lucia, collect on him. When you think he just, getting cozy, the same guy she break up, oh, he came, he said he wants to talk to me. My stuff is still by his place, so we have to make a decision on whether I collect my stuff or whatever. I'll let you know. But, we have to go. His mother and I got close. Some little story like that. And the woman is playing him like that all the time. Or even the time he realized the way the guy is splurging all his money on his cars and his magrims and so on. Sometimes the guy is broke and the woman was actually telling the guy, don't worry, I'll fix you up. I'll try to see if I can get some, And so if the guy needs something that he's overspending, is living beyond his means, he cannot provide food for his house, she would come to him, make him do some shopping because things are so bad, they're not talking, and he would rush forward. And the woman is actually making him subsidize her man. That's what she's doing. Don't make caught onto it a few times. On another occasion, I don't know if it's the same person or not, it was a matter of she comes to him and, boy, let's go for a little walk. And they're thinking, okay, she's prepared to be seen publicly with him. That's what she's made up her mind. But it's a matter of, let's pass there. Let's go down that road. And he used to wonder why that particular road. Why? Because she knows the guy will be there. And she's using him as a little jealousy switch. If the guy will see, this kind of guys, they have this kind of macho thing about them. If the guy will see her walking with him, he might figure there's a guy who wants to play his hand in what's mine. And, next thing a car will pull up and she'll go and lean into and talk to and then say, I'll see you, I don't think nothing, we'll see, we'll talk. And she gone with him because the jealousy switch has worked. And he told me this is the kind of thing that he went through, with her until at some point he said, he likes the woman. But how long can he continue to allow himself to be played by that? And he pulled back and she did her best to see if she could rope him in. But his mind was made up. And he said, one thing about women, boy, we think we have moves and we have play and so on, but a woman can play you anytime, I'm so happy both genders, sexes, whatever, they play each other. And he told me this was a pattern that went on because he had something in him for that woman and she knew it. And she was working him like that on any occasion, even to the point of using him to subsidize her man until finally he could take it no more. He caught on and, he told me she tried afterwards, but by then his mind was made up. And it was like basically, you have to know the play of women. Now, why have I gone into this little story? Folks, I see it has its equivalence in the politics. There are some people, they are members and part of a political party, but at some point they feel ignored, they feel marginalized, they feel like, they're not getting the attention that they deserve or that they need or that they want or the favors, whatever that they can call. Some are genuine, but some play that little game. Ever so often they come out and they seem to be swinging at their party. And then, they come and they criticize this and that and the other. They may be genuine, but notice how many times it has happened in the past. And for all that kind of, disgust that they have with the party, for some reason they always seem to slide back and to fit into it and to be part of it and to go with the flow in it. Until you realize that it may well be that little game that sometimes they want something, whether it is whatever is being that's handed out, whether it is candidacy, position, attention, regard. And so all they're doing is making the other party, the other side, sort of like their little jealousy sponge, their little jealousy switch. So that they will pretend that they're cozying up to the other side, and all it takes is one phone call. One phone call from whoever's attention they're trying to get to say, you know, what's the matter? What's wrong with you? Okay, we'll take care of that. Because sometimes there is nothing that causes a negligent lover, a negligent ally or friend, to turn back and to give you all the attention. It's exactly what that man told me the woman was doing to him. The man have all these other women, and you know these types, they're the macho types, because in the conversation he said, bro, a lot of those women, the man who not doing anything for them, the man who leave them starving, the man who leave them, you know, who running women all over the place, the bad boy types and so on, that's the man that they like, that's the man that they want. And you the one who go in and push your hand in your pocket and doing everything for them, that's the one they despise. They might show you, of course they like what you're doing for them. That's the one they have contempt for you. That's the one, you know, they don't really think much of you. Is the fast car, is the nice car, is the sports car, is the glitzy life. Even if the glitzy life, on the sum of it in terms of the things that a woman needs or wants, they never get it. But say, nom sa ayovle. Ek ou laka, chwe ko ou ka, vid posh ou ka, fon ko ou sa help you. Ek, fam nan se nom lan ki pa ka, ki pa mem sab si ha manje bon matin, se leader. And I'm going to tell you this, I've seen it in the politics. People who come and who pretend, I've had enough, not me. And I'm telling you, in 2 days, they slide back to exactly where they said they have nothing to do. And Miguel, you understand, you know where I'm coming from. A few other people will understand what I'm talking about. Be careful about letting people play those games with you, even if it is politics. I'll tell you why. They don't like this other person. Let me use Miguel, my friend. You know, we're not in competition. But Miguel, for some reason, you know, he ain't taking them on too much, not giving them attention. He have his own project, his own things looking. And they come to me, Shelton, not me. You see Miguel? Miguel, this and that. Sometimes it's just to get Miguel to give them attention. And you know what it does to you? Or let me revert to the political party example. They come and in 2 days, you know, which may well be 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever. They come and they make this big announcement. Not me, you know. I had said I was going to give Labour Party a chance. I had already, you know, said I was going to turn my back on Flambeau and you know, align myself. But not me. The kind of things I see with Labour, those people, the thing they're best at is fooling people. They're making you think they're doing something and it's not nothing. They're full of bluff. You know what it does to you? It plays in the mind of the public that you must be really bad. That this person actually contemplated, maybe even on the surface of it, turned their back on Flambeau to come to Labour. And usually it's when it's close to election and so many things are swirling around that they make their move. And they decided, they can't take it with you. They better stick with the devil they know. And they went back to Flambeau and they went back to Alan Chastain. And what it does in the minds of people, you must be really bad. You must be really terrible that this person actually were on their last bit of the ankle out of the Flambeau door camp, and they look at you and they saw something and they said, this, I ain't letting that fool me. These people fooling people, and I better I go back to Flambeau. It makes you look worse than you really are. And that was the plan all along, to make you look worse than you really are. I'm not saying in politics you should push away people or chase people or huff people or say, no, we don't want to have, no, that's suicidal in politics. But be very careful. Don't rush forward too quickly to embrace people and to love them and to kiss them and to welcome them and to stick so much on them. Feed them with a long spoon, at least for a while. Watch what they're about. Watch their games and so on, so that you don't end up looking worse than you really are or ever were. Because it was a game all the time to accomplish 2 things. To get the attention and the outreach from the one that was neglecting them, but which is where their real heart and their real love and their real affection lies. That's one. So they will call them and say, because, you know, there's nothing that makes, you know, you want the Labour Party to get her? You want her to stay? Oh, people, you all want the Labour Party to win the next election? There's nothing that stirs them up and rouses them to action and energizes them more than that some fault they have internally or with one another can redound to the benefit of the Labour Party. Watch this one. The second one is that it's a play to make you look bad. That this person, this Chef Flambeau, actually was about making the decision. Around election, you hear a lot of take I got some take I vote by say books I got some take I support Labour, got some Labour take I gagnons got some have fin by flabo do moons pour moi support ces books éclairement ouais de travail moi di hours ces books ni plus que not flabo ni problème li mais vous avez yo primaire by ces books. It was all part of the plan right from the start. Don't rush forward. Don't be like a fool who rushes in where wise men fear to tread. Be wise, be restrained, watch things very carefully, from a distance, feed with a long spoon and so on. Make sure of this kind of complots. And don't feel you have to go and embrace people the moment you hear them make a little grumble, a little gondé about, their party and its leadership and so on. They may be genuine, but I'm saying, be very careful. Welcome, but welcome in not such a big public brouhaha, hullabaloo, celebratory way and so on. Vehicles up. This is the real issues. When we come back, the lines will be open to take your calls.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
So open for your calls. I'll definitely be reading some of your messages. The lines, listen to that mobile number that you can WhatsApp. Call us. Get the old number out of your mind. It's no longer 724. It's 487-9849. Right? Get that number. 487-9849. We have our first caller. You're on the air, caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Daniel.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Daniel.
Just hold on, caller. Don't go. We just have to. Yes. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there, Mr. Daniel.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
You can hear me well?
Well enough that I can manage. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Daniel. Yes, Mr. Daniel, I have a concern. I have a question to ask Mr. Spider. Mr. Spider came in politics. The first term he did in UWP, he ran up for Grossily. And he did a court, a netball court in Grand Riviere Field. He started it the first term. He spent 5 years, never finished. I want to ask Mr. Spider where the money gone for that court. He came back. He never finished it. When we asked him the question, he said the person he gave it to did not finish it, but it's in court. So I want to know when the court case is calling for the court.
Court for court.
Court for court. I want him to answer that question because I live Grand Riviere. I want to know why that court ain't finished yet.
Invite him on this program. I'll invite him on this program to ask him that. Do you agree?
Pardon me?
I'll invite him on this program to be my guest so he can answer. Would you?
Very open question, Salah.
Would you? Est-ce que conta si moi mener le programme ça pour ça répondre?
Oui, moi je content ça.
Okay.
Et puis right now there, they better have to finish that court. Mais il dit court for court. Mais moi vle les court ça kai kouye moi vle moi a court house là pour moi tanner.
Okay.
Spider, I would like the answer. Please answer me. Where is the money going for the court?
All right, my lady. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Court for court. I hope nobody's ribs break on any of those courts and so on in any game because rib is also court, you know. We're taking your calls now, 487-9849, yeah, and also 4533-911. Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Jeremy, Ken Joseph, Bernadette Charles, Sabina Charles on the Facebook Live, Paul Gilbert, and Solange James, who says families need to care, speak to their children and family members. She also says, shaking her head, the drivers and citizens need to remember what they were taught. Stop letting Satan's evil spirits control them. All right. Thank you very much for that. Angelina Georges says, my thoughts exactly, Mr. Shelton. Not sure exactly what she was referring to. Okay. Let me say that. Good afternoon to you also. Doodle Darling Myro and Jeanette Henry. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you, my friend. So all of a sudden now, everybody is on the bandwagon talking about no sports in the school, no school sports.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, since when did school...
That is the talk of the town now.
I'm beginning to wonder, since when did school sports become a crisis like they're trying to make it,
Shelton, is it not the Labour Party who have always placed the interests of the youth first, Shelton? In every policy, in every aspect, in every essence of governing, the Labour Party always do things to promote, to strengthen, and to support the youth,
Yep.
And this Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, he epitomized a soldier of the youth, You look at the youth economy. You look at the continuation of the $500 for the children who pass the common entrance. You look at the removal of money for those who doing certain subjects. Isn't that a manifestation of helping the youth, Shelton?
Absolutely.
And when you look at what that was there under the pretense of a government, wasn't they the ones that removed the laptop program? Who the laptop program was for? It wasn't there for the youth.
Sir.
Y'all say key grind sir. Y'all stop the laptop program.
Yep.
When you look at the policy to have one university per household, isn't that going to benefit the youth to ensure that you could take the youth from one level to another? But right now, all of you are happy on go and protest. Parents go and protest because they haven't got spots for the youth. Hypocrisy. And people who never kick a ball, people who never kick a ball in their lifetime want to play that. They want to come and hap about the youth. Solutions, I want you to open your eyes, Nou pata tiye boyo ekmete pai. Philip J. Pierre is the one who is working in the interest of solutions, and when the bell rings, we all have to ensure that we turn out in large numbers to give him a full mandate to continue the work that he is doing. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, Sean Cherubin, who says, Shelton, I hope you realize you were talking to and about Miguel, because you've gone on so many different tangents there already. Not necessarily. I did mention Miguel when I wanted to identify him, and nothing cryptic or coded and so on when I'm talking about my very good brother Miguel Favre. We have a caller on the line again. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Deacon.
Yes, my honorable senator.
Ujwen ling la hodia ipa ba otwaka.
Ipa ba otwaka hodia.
Moi suspect ou te still ka kuye 724.
Moi suspect ça.
487 pour te pou en lide ou.
Ça oui.
All right, how you doing? What's on your mind today?
Shelton, you remember Megyn Kelly
Yes.
of Fox News?
Yes.
Remember what Trump said about her?
There was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her whatever. Yes.
Good. You remember Nikki Haley, who ran in the primaries against Trump?
That's right. She was a former governor who became U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Yes.
Okay. And there are many others like them, Shelton. The governor of Ohio is another one. After Trump mash up the state by telling the people about the cats and the dogs. At the end of the day, when I listened to the governor, you know what he said? He says a lot of bad things. He does a lot of bad things. He insults. But you know what? I support Donald Trump and his guys like this that send him back to the White House.
Yeah.
People like this, Nikki Haley, Megyn Kelly, who probably is in line for a job as the press secretary. You see, the very people Trump denounced, the very people that called Trump name, I am not one inch moved by Miss Nigel Toussaint's conversation. I am not moved. I am not bothered. She could growl until fuck have teeth like Shasney said. I'm not moved by these people. Until Shelton, let me tell you something. What I have seen there, what I saw there. I mean, I'm not going to liken the U.S. election to St. Lucia, but from what I see there, Shelton, I am Labour. I am staying with Labour, and that is just as simple as that. And for me to be convinced and unconvinced, it has to be Labour ministers and Labour Party people, executive, that have to do and say things that I will not like, and for me to be unhappy with them. Until then, Flabo can do what they want, Shasney can do what he wants, say what he wants. I will not be moved. I will not be bothered, Shelton. Period. I saw another one who called herself an influencer. A so-called influencer. Ma after let's see her influencer, influencer. The only thing I see is hele. But when you see she have a own show, Mr. Pierre do this, Pierre do that, Pierre do this. What happened to Pierre? Can you not see that? Shelton, these people don't move me, you know. I think I have a mind of my own to see what is right and what is wrong. I can discern what is good and what is bad. That is what I am about, Shelton. I have a mind of my own, and these people can't convince me. Shelton, may your weekend be blessed. May you have a wonderful weekend. To all those who worship on the Saturday, God bless you all. Likewise, those who worship on the Sunday, have a wonderful weekend. And Shelton, let me tell Gaspar, I have warned him already on many occasions. It is not Philip J. Pierre. It is Honorable Prime Minister. The man has a title, address him by his title. Thank you, Shelton.
Right,
you have a good one.
Thank you very much. All right, folks, 487-9849 and 4533911. We're taking your calls. Let me say, Mr. Jeremy is very active on the Facebook Live today. She says it's on both sides. I don't believe, I think she means to say anything they say, that's their tactics. They're watching to see what type of funeral you will make for them. All right, Sean Cherubin says, court for court is called a cockot, not true at all. You know, a cockot is something else. It's our vernacular for, the mount of Venus or whatever, vagina. There's also the cockot minute. Would you know that this is the French name for a pressure cooker? Cockot minute, you know. So the word cockot is not so enveloped in, how you call that? In mystery or something esoteric and something, that has any shame attached to it and so on. But court, if it was court, you'd say, court for court. But cockot is a completely different thing, whether the pressure cooker or the other thing that causes men's pressure to go up, Good afternoon to you, Lucy Manuel. Michael Matlock, who says Met was a deck, not sure. Or maybe the person that I said who told me of his life experience. We learn, we grow, it's like a young man growing up, the way you get socialized. Sometimes a lot of the way you get to think about women and dating and love and relationship is from older guys, you hang around them, you hear them say this, you hear them say that about women, this, and this is what women like, and if you want to keep a woman, and then, you grow up accepting it as gospel, especially if you don't have somebody who's more knowledgeable and wise and responsible to take you under their wing, So you hang around and you hear guys say all kinds of, and as you grow up, you learn that, hardly any of this is ever true and so on, but it may have influenced your own behavior and outlook and attitude. So, in life, like I say, we grow, we learn and so on. Jerry Francis says, Shelton, I think every day you drive, it's your first day driving all over again. Might well be. I'm not exactly sure what point you're aiming at, but thank you very much just the same. Shelley Fanis, good afternoon to you, as well as Donan Jabatis. Leandra Elliott says, but Shelton, it's your friends that mess you up. Ego. All right. Cecil Peter says, Flambos are loyal to their party, and Jane Francis Fastro agrees, says, very. It's political loyalty all about, but people play their little games, and we have to watch out for it. Don't let people, play us and so on because they're aiming for something for themselves. The point that Bernard made about Donald Trump, you'll be surprised at the people who will close ranks around Donald Trump. The Mitch McConnells and the Ted Cruzes and what's his name, Chris Christie and so on, who may have said the most horrible. Even John Kelly, the retired general, military guy who says he believes Trump is a fascist and so on. As the Trump presidency settles in and so on, you will hear a lot of people changing their tone and changing their voice and so on, So just watch it, with people. Sometimes they're genuine, sometimes it's something they're looking for, and that's something they're looking for. It's from the very same people that they're denouncing and so on. They just want some attention, they just want some, etc., whatever it is, Yeah. Mr. Jeremy says, I agree they want sympathy. Now they're talking their own party bad. Tomorrow, hear them. The lines are still open, 487-9849 and also 4533911. Last night on Can I Help You, and Albert Fredis and I were together, we were wondering what was wrong with the lines, and it was because something was whatever, locked and so on, and then when they realized it, then the calls started flowing in, but by then we had already decided, that we were going to end the program a little after 10 and so on. Let me see that. All right. Good afternoon to Eusebia Jean-Baptiste and Joan T. Joan Edward. Eusebia says, good afternoon to everyone. Conrad says, I don't trust none of them switchers. All right. Anna Rose Anemone says, St. Lucia's so-called top influencer is boss at doing that, and I'm surprised at the people who's falling in a trap. None of us need to fall into anybody's trap. We just have to keep our heads pointing where they should point, and that is forward. Look at things in the context that the sweep of our eyes and our attention and our faculties allow us to do, and don't allow ourselves to be swayed, by the noises that people make, because those noises very often change depending on what side of the bed they wake up on, depending upon what's, again, the irritation point. Too many of us think and we reason not upon any solid analysis of available facts and information. It's upon into irritation. And are we going to let people dump their irritation on us, that basically, we allow ourselves to be swayed by the noise which people make, how noisy they are, how cogent they sound, how fiery, and this kind of thing. People can be fiery with total ignorance. They can be fiery with total misinformation, and they don't know what they're talking about, but they make it sound like they do because of the conviction, that they project and that they portray, and they make it. Sometimes they have no conviction. They just are using that to cover up for the total lack of any substance in what they're saying. And we have to stop allowing this entertainment performances and this acting and play acting and whatever, and drama and theater that people put on to be what, you come saying something about school sports and there's one of them who's very good at that, and so they do that, and don't tell me, they're already telling you what objection you should not bring up, what attempt to rebut them or to query what. Don't tell me that they did not know that the school sports was coming up at a certain time. They could have put on this big spectacle for Julian Alfred. Okay, yeah, suppose we had some mix-up in the school sports, and one minister told me it was a problem with the fixtures, that while it is school sports, it's not organized by the Ministry of Education. The ministry is represented on the committee, but it's primarily a function of the Ministry of Sports. And there seemed to have been some mix-up that led to a delay in the fixtures, and teachers and so on had to tell themselves, do they want to be pulled now into building, a school sports itinerary from scratch and so on, when they have end of term exams coming up very soon and so many other things? How much attention and energy should they give now to school sports, which may come at the expense of the academic side of things, which is often curtailed in the second term. So the first term they have to push through a lot of things, because second term, Easter, shortened and all of that, and the athletic sports and so on. So basically, it created a little bit of an uncertainty and whatever, that may not be the best word, uncertainty and so on. But is anyone trying to tell me that we have a crisis in our education system because of no school sports, or school sports being late or being delayed or being curtailed? Everything is being made to sound like it is a crisis, and it is being done through the use of noise. And the usual thing, and don't tell me that they could not have. No. Everything is designed to make it look like, oh my goodness, there's an emergency, there's a crisis, there's a catastrophe, there's a calamity, there's a mess, and people are dying, and on and on and on and on it goes like that. And a lot of us, we are simply being swayed by the energy that it is being made to look like it's being given off. It's like a dog. You don't have to do a dog anything. You just have to glare at it and move yourself in a certain way and stamp your feet, whatever, and you are riling up the animal, because it sees those things as aggression. It sees those things as a threat. It is going to start barking. It's going to start growling. It's going to start charging you. And that is what they're trying to do, to rile up the people of St. Lucia on nothing more than the dramatics. That's all it is, the dramatics. Rile up people, counter the information that is easily available and thing by engaging in some very spurious dramatics to make you look that, oh my goodness, this is it. And sadly, many of us are falling for it. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, I heard you speak about, I heard your talk earlier on, but I just want to see a few things. Just give me a little minute. You see, when some politicians don't understand the power of their message, okay? When a politician, I want to say that a politician tells you they give you a job, and in 2 days you will get your money, and it takes 5 weeks for you to get that money, and you start making noise for the money. When eventually that you are called to collect your money, you are called to a congregation of about 15, 20 people who are collecting their money. And that politician comes and says things about how persons that are, well, I don't want it to sound personal, but it has to be personal. When that politician comes and tells everybody what you confided in them, and in the local parlance, we call it mépris, while you are seated there, waiting for the money they promised you 5 weeks ago, and then people are telling you, you're not supposed to make noise for that. And then that politician who wants to come back and serve us is throwing mépris at these same people. How do you regard it? I'm from Babono. They call me rice bag. Everybody knows me. They call me rice bag. I want to find out how do you respond to that.
Okay, you're asking me, if it's a question you're asking me, I don't have an answer to it because I don't really understand the context of the situation. But I don't believe anybody should be subjected to, being given mépris in front of everybody else.
That is my point, Shelton. If you're a politician, you're a politician. When people...
But let me ask you this. If this happened to you personally, I don't know if it's you personally.
Yes, me personally.
Had you been going to say things about the politician? Because some people, they go to town on politicians. They tombe. You got tombe Apache had sali you bagay about from you. So sometimes hold on. The politician is a human being, and they come and then they know that you've been on their family, on their mother, and everything. That sometimes they come, and again the point of it, the irritation of knowing that you have been really tearing into them, that they feel they need to defend themselves because you really have put them on the spot in a very public way, right?
Because they are public figure.
So that means
they are a public figure.
So that means
I listen to you. All I'm telling you is it good for a politician who is in power, who is aspiring to regain power again, to come at a forum and throw mépris in our local parlance, as we say, to people who have been supporting the SLP for all their lives. So when I hear you speak about people going there and coming there and doing this, there is a context to everything. I'm telling you that to tell you very simply. I am a supporter of the Labour Party. But you see right now there, I'm thinking a lot. It's not because of the policies of the Labour Party. The policies are good, but the representation leaves a lot to be desired.
Okay.
That's my point. I'm good. Okay, Shelton?
All right, my friend. Thank you. Okay. It's not good on either side. I mean, some people, they go overboard. They have a problem with their representative water, and even before they look to get it resolved, they're all over the place. Like you say, and at some point it gets to them, and they may react in different ways and so on. A human being is a human being. You may present them, and some of you are sending words for them. You might not say it in a public place, but you have a commission by you. Like I say, it's not a good thing to do, but it's not good on either side. However, I take your point that the representative is the person that you would consider to be, of the higher calling, of the greater responsibility to be able to absorb those blows and not react to them, as we will say, tit for tat, shoe for shoe. So, but it's not good, regardless of which side it happens on. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Forward la.
Yes, après papa bon Dieu. Forward la va de gatan ni budo tu at jou même te ma lab bagatan zot. Zot la de gatan me pas fort moi.
Okay.
Ni mateni box à la TV. So yon ba de gatan lot, mais moi c'est ka worry. Moi de gatan je non lot à la hotel c'est me rakuye toute station a crié zot, hein. Donc, il va te attendre, mais forward là, mais forward là, quand fait mon autre joute, en dota, qui m'a mis un box, m'a démarché, m'a démarché un box à l'œil. So, on dota, mené, ben, moi, last dota, moi. There's really no.
Okay.
So, moi, il mène ben moi, et non, ça va pas faire. So, moi content ça, moi apprécié, maman happy. Et moi attend that, so moi tourne moi great love bully. All right?
Okay.
So, moi ka faire hot ça tout le monde qui va de attendre voir moi ça va d'être cadre malade. Ma lip ni malade déjà moi qui pas bon. Mais langue là, papa bon Dieu ben moi ti morceau vient na ka ba mémoire pour faire travail liya. Naka wizard tout congratulations. A great love for you all. Without love, we are nothing. Without mother's love, we are nothing. For what la it is with my grace I've been saved through Ephesians chapter 28. So I am so glad that Jesus loves us and Jesus loves me. Mr. Sheldon Daniel, monsieur qui parlait là avant, deuxième monsieur qui dernier. Je suis supporté 100% à la toute ça il dit. Tout ça il dit c'est la vérité. Ça c'est parole papa bon Dieu prêcher là-bas nous. So on nous jette high sauce, on mette love, L-O-V, c'est bagay la yo père. Without love we are nothing. Love makes the world go round. So, je remercie Mr. Sheldon Daniel et pour la famille. Et je faire tout ça. Forward là, you trapped vivre. Once I was lost, but now I am found. I thank you all, everybody. Not one, not two, not three, the whole world.
Ok. Merci un peu le forward là. Passez un bon le restant vendredi et puis un bon week-end aussi. All right, good day, Shelton. Please inform the public that at least 3 schools launched their annual school sports this week, like they do every year in the first term. All right, thank you very much for that. There's also seems to be a notice. The VA4 South Constituency Council invites the public to a meeting on Wednesday, November 13th, 2024 at 5 p.m. at the VA4 Market to discuss the redevelopment of the VA4 Market. We're due for a break now. Let's take it. When we come back, more calls and messages we will bring to you. So don't go away.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you, at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Talking about school sports, yesterday I enjoyed the little excitement with the road races in my community. Entrepot School and another primary school had their races. That's a message that someone has sent me on my personal WhatsApp. All right, another person sends a message, says, influencer influenced him to call to talk about her. Exactly. I'm not exactly sure who's influencer and who influencer influenced to call to talk about her. I don't know. Influencer is a female or whatever. No, not too sure, you know. But thanks just the same for the message. We're taking your calls, 487-9849 and 4533911. I see someone sends a message, says, the wicked will get away, Donald Trump, the bad will be captured, and the innocent will be castrated. You know, one day when we will be able to sum up things, those of us who live long enough, we probably might end up realizing that some people we consider to be the wicked and all of that, they were not as bad as other things that perhaps we didn't see the evil in them. So let's reserve judgment, you know, on a lot of things for the time being. We have a call on the line. Hello?
Hi, Shelton.
Hey, hi, how are you doing?
How you doing? Malar, man.
Malar.
Oui, man. On sa mou realize, Shelton. Se you sa ou kanek we bon mwen anti-manye som. Opan, ou jalou si telman le teri la, na kouye mwen eksite. Opan, le mwen kouye wabrizan ou ka we pon mwen som. Me kamem, mwen gito la. Shelton, school sports. This morning, I think I saw footage of St. Mary's College having their road race or marathon or whatever they call it, school sports. This morning, from where I'm at, I heard loud music, man. Nice music going down good, and I wondering what's going on in Larissos. Only to find out that Viewford Comprehensive Secondary School is having a sport activity. It's not a road race, it's a fun walk. Last year around this time, nobody was interested in sports. Year before, nobody was interested in sports. And the years prior, between 2016 and 2021, the only sports people were interested in was the horse race. That is what they cared about. But these days, they care about sports so much to spread untruth about sports. Okay? They will not call the relevant authorities to verify the information. Because if they verify it, it means that they have nothing to go on. Shelton, spots will not write them into office again. Not even health will write them into office again. Okay? They've used goats at the stadium, cows at the stadium. Now I see they're using a little dog, a dog to ride into office. Let me tell you all that. When Mr. Pierre stood on the market steps on August 25th and he said, he come in, listen, them fellas go get discombobulated when they hear the truth about St. Jude. And they can try anything about St. Jude. St. Jude will be completed, whether it takes 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. But before we go to the ballot boxes, St. Jude will be ready. And Mr. Pierre will say he come in. But Alan Chaffney needs to understand that the victory of Donald Trump in the United States of America does not equate to him becoming prime minister again in this country. And yes, there are members and supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party who may feel that they're not pleased about certain things. I think we need to find avenues to highlight what we're not pleased about, highlight our displeasure, because there are avenues within both parties, because I've been a member of both parties. But you see, those members in the United Workers' Party who are displeased, they cannot find, you don't see, they're not coming out, Shelton. And I hear now the man looking to have another orange match. I don't know if it's because Donald Trump won, he wants to have an orange match because they're calling Donald Trump the orange man or something. So, but he needs to understand, he needs to return what he took as flubbo, transform to flumbo, and he needs to return it if it can possibly ever go back to being flubbo. Okay? Until such time, whole koi pabo. We're staying with Mr. Pierre.
But you know, let me point out something. This idea that a Donald Trump victory presages, you know, it kind of is an indicator of the fortunes of the UWP. That doesn't square well with the history, because UWP won the elections in 2016, 5 months before Donald Trump won, you know, the presidential election. So UWP was in office in 2016 without Donald Trump, you know, being in office in the United States. They preceded Donald Trump's victory by 5 months.
No. Don't be too quick to misunderstand me. I am not equating that. You see, because of what the 43%ers have been following, and what again is this? They have been working with Cambridge Analytica, which has been working with Donald Trump. So you know them 43%ers. That's what Alan Chaffney say. One thing today, it is nowhere close to the truth, and they believe it. So you know they're going to be believing that for some reason or other, Donald Trump's victory would redound to a victory for Alan Chaffney. You understand? So we have to dispel that notion for the 43%ers that that's not going to happen in St. Lucia. And while people believe that policies, the Labour Party usually implements the best policies, and you have the base being dissatisfied, if they believe that anything was bad between 2016 and 2021 under Alan Chaffney, they better think again. It's going to get a lot worse. I'm not even thinking that. You know what? There's not going to be another Alan Chaffney Prime Minister in this country ever again. So the people who are to do what they're supposed to do for the base of the St. Lucia Labour Party, kindly start to do what you have to do. Elections are not in 5 years' time.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you very much. A message says, no name, you're on the spot. For example, when SLP is in power, some strange persons appear at there, that is SLP watering holes. If the election goes the opposite way, they disappear. Well, who knows, it probably happens the other way. It probably goes the other way as well. I don't know, but infiltration and spying and so on, I suppose it's par for the course when it comes to political rivalry, etc., etc. Anyway, do I have another message there? Let me see if I have. A lot of them seem to be coming. St. Lucian in Canada says, Donald Trump published a 4-minute video with a 10-point plan to dismantle the deep state. Yeah, I keep saying, and I think Joe Biden said it, you have to come to the point where you accept the presidency of Trump. It was convincing, all the complaints he had about election being stolen from him. I suppose, does he feel that the election was stolen from Joe Biden, etc., etc.? What's he got to say? The system worked for him this time, didn't it? And Democrats and a lot of people supporting them were pretty confident that they were going to win this election, that they were going to beat him, that there was no way the American people would go back to Donald Trump having seen him. Well, they did just that. And they did it pretty convincingly and without any room for debate or for argument and so on. And I'm happy that the Democrats have conceded peacefully, that they're showing Trump, look, we are different from you. When we lose, we accept it, we concede, and we urge the people to accept your presidency and so on. Unlike how you did, when you lost in 2020. We have a call on the line.
Shelton, good afternoon.
Yeah, as if I've heard that voice before.
Yeah, I just feel a compunction to call to swing on the other side of life, to the U.S. I know you are brighter than me, so I just called you to see if you could explain to me, is there going to be any effect on our economy based on what Donald Trump looking to propose, the mass deportation and the tariffs he wants to impose? Now, I know tariffs are taxes, so I will hang up and I will allow you to explain that to me. Are there going to be any effect on the tariff? Because to me, when you pay more to import goods, you are supposed to sell your goods a little more expensive. Now,
well, the kind of tariffs that he's threatening is not a little more expensive. They will be tremendously more expensive. And since a lot of the Chinese goods that we get them indirectly, we get them from America. In other words, America imports from China, and then we import from America, whether via Amazon, all these online things. You'll see a lot of them are made in China. So the price will go up for us, So, I mean, if that's what he's doing, he's going to raise prices. But
so is it a case where we have to put it over? My Prime Minister have to take in front before in front take him.
I think he's already doing that,
and make the people know that as a result of X, Y, Z, goods are going to be going up in St. Lucia.
Well, we don't know that as yet, because he may just have been a lot of hot air about raising the tariffs and all of that. He probably, with the wisdom of hindsight, may be able to look at that and decide, he doesn't want to go down that road. It's better that he doesn't do it. Maybe he'll have people who will forcefully advise him against, doing that sort of thing. At the end of the day, he's talking about, American jobs and whatever going out. A lot of the investors in China are American investors. They set up shop in China because to take advantage of the lower labor cost, and a whole lot of things. So a lot of American businesses either relocated to China or they have plants in China. They still have a presence in America, but their main production and manufacturing facilities are outside the U.S. so that they can take advantage of lower wages and those sort of things. So you go now raising tariffs, you may well be hurting more American producers who have relocated their production facilities in China, because now whatever they were saving insofar as the labor cost and those things are concerned, you are now making it more expensive for them to export back to America, with those high tariffs and so on. So insofar as the mass deportations, I also say time will tell, the Caribbean people and so on, and all other people, the Mexicans and so on. Many people tell you that the American economy could not do without them. They are people who work on the farms, picking apples, picking, cutting sugar cane and that sort of thing, and doing it at wage levels which the American, the real, American white whatever would never work for those kind of wages. And so the farm labor program, you think it's love the lovers that they have this annual seasonal farm labor program and so on. And a lot of the people who come, they are contributing to the economy in a big way. Many of them take education more seriously. So those who are educated and skilled, they may end up getting degrees and whatever that is above the average for what you would consider, what they want to consider the true blue American and so on. And they also are working, in enterprises and industries where Americans who have achieved and reached a certain level of economic achievement and so on, they probably don't want to do those things. And many years ago, I heard that same argument in Antigua, where Antiguans felt their jobs were being taken and a whole lot of foreigners, and there were calls to take them out. The reason happened was that the jobs that Antiguans got and they were being paid heavily for had a lot to do with Stanford, all the massive injections that, of money that he pumped into Antigua. People, were getting salaries that they never dreamed that they would get. Antigua tourism was doing well. But then a lot of it plunked after 9/11 and Americans not traveling anymore, and the global economic downturn and all of those sorts of things, and Stanford, his arrest and the collapse of his enterprises. So the very jobs that Antiguans felt that they were bigger than them and they didn't want them before, security and those things, they began to see them and say, why not us? But it wasn't anybody who had taken it from them. They didn't want to do that, anymore. And so they began to call. But, you chase everybody out and so on, and a whole lot of industries and sectors are going to collapse. And that may be what Donald Trump, on a sane and sober analysis, may well realize that this mass deportation thing is going to hurt America more than he will help it. But it's good for politics and campaigning, that the reason why you're struggling is because so many people are coming in and eating your food, I'll get them out, We have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Let me tell you, it takes Donald Trump to be president of America to see the downfall of America,
May well be.
The same way it takes Chasley to be the Prime Minister of St. Lucia to see the downfall of St. Lucia. Goodbye.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, it may well be. I mean, if there is mass deportation and St. Lucians are just kicked out, of course it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt them. Do we have an economy and the capability to absorb so many St. Lucians coming back home in such a short space of time to find jobs, to find housing, to resettle back in the country? How will it affect the remittances, whatever they were able to send home or whatever? Or then it may be we have St. Lucians who now are able to kickstart things here because of the training, the experience, what they've gotten in America, maybe what they've accumulated that they bring back home. Maybe it can give a great fillip and boost to us here. We must not always think on the negative side, Americanized St. Lucians, St. Lucians were citizens of America coming back home in significant numbers. I mean, they might be able to kickstart a lot of things that we would believe that there would be a strain on. So let's not all think on the negative and gloomy side of it. But I don't think it's really going to happen. It won't happen like that. There'll be court challenges, there'll be injunctions, there'll be all kinds of things like that. And even if Donald Trump believes that the election is an endorsement of him coming back as being absolute monarch, absolute ruler and monarch of all his surveys, the reality might turn out to be quite different. And there may be people within his own administration who will say, no. I mean, how many people working for Donald Trump probably have, how would you call that, a Costa Rican domestic worker, maid, whatever, nanny and so on, who may have how would you call that, a Haitian gardener or whatever it is, and then they'll see, those people have helped them, who have their little business, and workers from this country, in the hemisphere and so on, have made such a difference, coming for different culture, work ethic and endurance and strength, and you want to send them home. And so over time, even your own supporters will say, look, man, while we don't like our country being swarmed by illegal, immigrants and so on, but at the same time, these are people who we can say they've made a contribution. And not only that too, we can say that those people have made a difference, and we have become in some way attached to them, bonded with them, fond of them. Americans who have married, with some of these people and so on. I'm saying that at the end of the day, Donald Trump may get a pushback which shocks him, because it may all have been bluff on his own part as well. Anyway, folks, I think, Jaquan, that does it for the time, does it for us? We have a minute left. I'm not exactly sure. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we have to. My clock kind of went bomb on me. We're just a minute to 2 o'clock. So I think we will. Let me see this. Someone sends a message that says there are over 350 Walmart stores in China. So many manufacturers of air-conditioned products and so on. They may have the headquarters in the United States, but the actual assembly plants and manufacturing, they're in China. It isn't a case where China came and stole American jobs. When China opened up and so on, a lot of Americans looked at it and they went and they invested in China. A skilled workforce, people who are really right there with the technology, educated and etc. and so on. And they went and they set up there. So, he's playing his own little politics to tell Americans that the reason why they're having hardship is because other people are coming here and they're eating your food and so on. It's simplistic. It doesn't really square with the reality and so on. That's the real issues for today and for the week. Thank you so very much, everyone, for having been a part of it. Thank you, Jaquan, for doing great with the calls and the messages once again and our whole technical operations. God willing, all things equal, we'll do this again starting next week, Monday from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on Real FM Radio, MBC Television, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, streaming. Shelton Daniel, for the time being, signing out.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.